Assalamu alaikum viewers. Thank you very much that you people have subscribed this channel. I'm really very grateful to you for your cooperation. And today the topic we are going to discuss, that is all about the adolescents, and that is all about the teenagers. We need to make it very clear that there is no major difference between the teenagers and the adolescents. Adolescent is basically a technical term which is being used for the age period from 13 years till the 19 years of the age group. So and we must have heard about the mood swings of the teenagers. They feel uncomfortable, they feel irritated, they feel longer period of time intense depression, and they would be having the frequent frustrations, and they complain it again and again. It means that they are aware of all these things, that they are in a bad mood. We must have heard from with most of the adolescents that we are not happy, we are uncomfortable, I'm not in a good mood, I'm feeling anger, I'm feeling frustrated. What is the reason behind it? Because number of the physical changes are taking place, and physical development is at its peak. There are occurring various biological changes, there are occurring various psychological changes, there are occurring various emotional changes, along with the cognitive changes as well. And whenever these changes are occurring, then it have severe effect on their mood, and it converts into the mood swings. We may say that biological changes are occurring at its peak, and there is the shift of the puberty, and there is the onset of the puberty, and the hormonal changes are occurring at the rapid pace and the rapid speed. So we can say, if hormonal changes are occurring and hormones are over secreting, it has direct effect on the brain changes and the chemical changes which are occurring in the brain of the adolescents, because cognitive changes are also developing. And we may say that at this time period, all the adolescents are at its peak of the physical energy, their mental energy, their cognitive energy, and most of the researchers have proved it, that the cognitive development completes by the age of 16 years. If there is any cognitive development which achieve its final destination, that age period is the 16 years, and after that no cognitive changes take place. But the issue is, if biological changes are occurring, how does it affect on the mood swings? All the adolescents don't accept all those bodily changes which are occurring at this time period, and at this phase they feel uncomfortable, and they go in the psychological pressure, and they will be developing various psychological distress and the psychological disorders at this time period. We know that this period is also known as the period of the storm and stress, and whenever there comes some storm in our natural environment, it is very difficult to manage that storm and stress. Storm, because it is coming with the full intensity. In the same way, if there is a change which is occurring biologically or psychologically, it would be very difficult to handle with the teenagers, because their physical energy is at its peak. And why it is happening? It is happening because of the feels and the thinking of the teens. And their what is their thinking and what is their feel their feels and their thinkings are totally different from those of the adults, and from those of the middle-aged people, from those of rest of the people in their society and the community. We need to understand the things and the feels of the adolescents. What does they feel? How does they think? So their feels are coming from their things, which is totally different from the rest of the people. And if we understand this simple thing, there will be no psychological pressure come on the teenagers and the adolescents, and everyone would be able to cope up with this particular situation. But the main issue is adolescents themselves need to understand this change, because they are, mashallah, very wise people. They are the very wise age group, and they can understand these things very well. And some of the adolescents also complains that other than the anger in their mood, other than the mood shifts, they are also experiencing depressions. And such adolescents, they would be staying in their bedrooms. They don't want to come out of their rooms. They don't want to meet their rest of the family members. They don't want to communicate with those people. And if these symptoms persist for approximately 2 weeks time, it means that they are developing with the depression. This mood swings is converting into the depressive episodes, and they may also feel the discomfortability with their sleeps, and they don't feel comfortable to sleep. And it also develops the insomnia. This is also one of the major symptoms of the adolescent depression and the adolescent's mood swings. So we can say there could be hypersomnia, there could be insomnia, or there could be hyposomnia, oversleep, less sleep, and sleeping difficulties. They also need to manage with it. And as they are full of the energies, they are full of the strength, they are full of various capabilities, they are full of number of the talents, and they are having so much energy, but the task which is being given to them, that is of a very low level. We need to give them tasks which is according to their mental level, which is according to their physical level, which is according to their cognitive level, because all the energies are gathered together. Just imagine that if something is being mixed with full of the various high potencies, we can say that this all the things are with the very high potencies. And if three things, physical energy, mental energy, and hormonal energy, and social energy, is being kept, put in one bowl, it would be making so much high potency level of the energy. And this can create the trouble at that stage. What fields they would be having, and how it would be moving from a normal routine to the abnormality, and how they can develop the depression, and how they can develop the mood swings. It is because that they want to do something, but they are not getting anything what they should do, because they are having more energy as compared to the tasks which is being given to them. At this point, they need to set their goal, and they need to go an extra mile. How they can go an extra mile while all the adolescents are studying? Whenever they are studying, other than the study, they need to start their career at this level. This can help them a lot to utilize their physical energy and the physical strength. And they can take various suggestions from their elderly people. They need to listen to to the guidance from the elderly people. But how they can cope up with the situation whenever they are experiencing the dysthymia or depression? If they are feeling sad, if they are feeling depressed for a fairly long period of time, without any break, without any pause for the 2 weeks time, it means that they are developing depression. And it may happen that there is one category of the adolescents who may develop the dysthymia. Dysthymia is a disorder which is occurring if depression is becoming chronic. If it becomes chronic, then they develop the dysthymia, and dysthymia is also common in the children as well as adolescents. But we need to focus how we can come out, how we can help them, how all the adolescents and how the teenagers can come out of this mood swings, and how they can control their anger, how they can control their stress, how they can control their depressive and frequent frustrations. In this situation, they need to make a priority list. What is their priority? They need to adopt the 7 habits of highly effective teens. And what are those 7 habits for highly effective teens? One is they need to be proactive. Think positively. Think extremely positively. That don't be pessimist. That is being proactive. Secondly, whenever you are thinking something, you need to take a start with the begin something with the end in your mind. If you keep the end in your mind, then you would not be feeling emotionally disturbed whenever you are having the split up in your relationship, because most of the adolescents are emotionally disturbed because of the emotional disturbances. So if you keep one thing in your mind, what would be the end of this thing, and keep the beginning, and keep, while you are beginning something, keep the end in your mind. This is the second solution. Then what could be the third solution? The third solution is that they need to go an extra mile. They need to put their physical energies, they need to put their mental energies in the positive and the healthy sides. And if they feel themselves that they can do marvelous, they can excel from the rest of the their age groups and rest of the age fellows, they need to go an extra mile. and they need to double their work. Instead of staying in isolation, instead of living separate from the rest of their family members, they should do double work. The next thing is they need to communicate with their elderly people. They need to communicate with the home environment and the home settings, because they should not stick most of the time in their own rooms. And if they will be coming and staying in the living room, then they would be able to get to know about what's happening in the society. And their norms, the teenagers norms, are also colliding against the societal norms. Their norms and their customs and their values are also colliding with the societal norms and the familial rules and the family values. So they would never want to listen all those things which are being advised to them. They need to listen the advices from their elders. And sometime it happen that most of the time they are staying in the company of the teenagers. The rest of the teenagers, they would love to stay in the same company because of their social development. And if they get any issue, they would be discussing that issue only with their uh, age group and with their peer group. The peer group is also having the same mental capacity and the physical capacity, how they can give you a very good suggestion about your problem, about your dilemma. So instead of discussing your problem with your peer group, they need to discuss their problems either with the university counselor or with their elderly members of the family. And they need to sharpen their saw. Sharpening the saw means that they do have the skills. Don't put rust on your skills. Don't put rust on their capabilities and the mental capacities. They always need to think win-win. And what is the think win-win? If they are keeping in their mind that they would be having the positive accomplishment, and they would be having the positive achievement, they would be having the think win-win, and all the efforts they are making, all the activities they are doing, it would be having a proper end. After doing this, they need to also synergize. What is the then synergizing, making the composition of all those things. What is the priority list, what they need to do, bring the first thing at the first. And if they are keeping the proper placement of their priority list, because most of the teenagers, they are indulging in the studies. And if they are indulging in the studies, they must meet the deadlines. And if they are meeting the deadlines and they are avoiding the procrastinations, they need to avoid the procrastination while when they are submitting their task in time, so their energy can be utilized on this as well. But most of the teenagers also do complain that they are facing the troubles on focusing the things. They cannot concentrate on the various things and the various issues. How they can build their concentration? If something is of their interest, they can bring the concentration on their desired tasks and the desired activities. So the group work is also being given to them to have the interaction with the rest of the people. And they get a chance to have various type of the interaction, and they can utilize their energy on the positive side. And they should also go for the zumba is a physical workout. And if they are indulging themselves in zumba and they are doing it frequently, it will be the source of working out, and they will be feeling more happy and they will be feeling more pleasure. But the point is, adolescents are always pleasure seeking, and whatever pleasure seeking is, they feel comfortable with the pleasurable activities, with the pleasurable things, and they never see the consequences. Either it would be having adverse effect on their physical health or on their mental health, or it would not be acceptable by their society, or it would not be acceptable by their parents. So they need to differentiate which is good and which is bad for them. I would never recommend you, if any of the adolescent is suffering from depression or some other mental disturbances are occurring at that time, he need to divert his activities and he need to keep himself busy, and he need to make a priority list, and he need to work it positively, and he need to take the various booster sessions. Any people who are around him, they can give him the booster sessions, because with the booster sessions this mood changes can be controlled in the beginning. and it will be very helpful for the teenagers. And I hope that you would like it. And I would next come again with the adolescents problems and the adolescents other issues. But I will never recommend to all of the adolescents that they should go for the medication at this early time, because it can have some side effects on your brain and the hormones and the secretion, and it may cause various other bodily troubles. So don't go for the medication for minor level of the mood swings, and you only counseling can do improvement in your mood swings and in depression. Okay, till then, Allah Hafiz.